Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into something, well, kind of weird in the world of tech. We're talking about AI hallucinations. You know, when these machines that are supposed to be all about logic just start making stuff up.
So get this. An AI system can confidently cite sources that are completely fake. We're talking made-up books, articles that don't exist. It can invent facts, cook up quotes, and present it all like it's gospel. And that really begs the question, right? How can a machine, something built on pure logic, just lie?
And listen, this isn't just some simple bug or a glitch in the code. No, it's a whole phenomenon, and it has a name, a hallucination. You can think of it like a ghost in the machine. And in a world that's leaning more and more on AI, for some pretty big decisions, getting a handle on this ghost is, well, it's absolutely crucial.
Okay, so you might be thinking, isn't that just an error? Well, not quite. Let's break it down. A simple error is, well, simple. It's like your calculator messing up a sum because of a bug. It's predictable. But a hallucination, that's a whole other ballgame. It's a creative fabrication. The AI isn't just getting the answer wrong, it's confidently making up a new answer out of thin air. It's not just wrong, it's inventively wrong.
All right, so let's pop the hood and see what's going on. If we want to figure out how to deal with these digital ghosts, we've got to understand where they even come from. What makes these super precise systems go off the rails and start telling us tall tales? Our investigation points to three main culprits here. First up, there's the AI's diet, the data it learns from. Then there's the sheer complexity of its own digital brain. And finally, and this is a tricky one, we'll look at how people can intentionally mess with these systems. So let's start with the first one, the data.
So culprit number one is the data itself. You see, an AI model is only as good as the information we feed it. And if that data is biased, or if there are huge gaps in it, well, the AI's view of the world gets all distorted. It's like it's looking at reality through a funhouse mirror. It doesn't just learn our biases, it can actually amplify them.
All right, the second big reason is something called overfitting. And honestly, it's a case of the AI being almost too smart for its own good. Imagine a student who just memorizes the answers for a test instead of actually learning the subject. That's overfitting. So when the AI gets a question it hasn't seen before, it can't reason its way to an answer. It just panics and spits out something that looks like the stuff it memorized.
Okay, so this isn't just some abstract theoretical problem for computer scientists. This stuff is happening right now, out in the wild. And it's showing up everywhere, in text, in images, even in the sounds we hear.
When it comes to text, these hallucinations can be incredibly sneaky. What makes them so dangerous is that they don't sound wrong. They're written with this air of authority and confidence that makes it really, really easy to believe they're true. And this can take a few different forms. For instance, an AI might just invent a fictional source, like a totally fake academic paper to back up what it's saying. Or it might just make up a quote and attribute it to a real person. Or, maybe the most subtle of all, it'll just state something that sounds totally plausible, totally logical, but is just flat out false.
Now, if you think text is weird, wait until you see what happens with images. This is where hallucinations can get really surreal, and sometimes just downright bizarre. The AI's imagination can really go off the deep end.
I mean, really, this perfectly illustrates how strange it can get. You might get an image of something that's physically impossible, or see reality get twisted into something from a strange dream. It's a fantastic reminder that these systems don't see or understand the world in the same way we do, at all.
And it's not just what AI sees. The phenomenon extends to what it hears as well, and that opens up a whole new can of worms.
So what does an audio hallucination sound like? Well, you could have what are called spurious sounds. Think about an AI security system that hears the sound of breaking glass when nothing actually happened. It's a false alarm caused by a phantom noise. Or you might see speech errors, where your voice assistant perfectly transcribes what you said but completely botches the meaning.
Okay. So this is where it gets serious. The real-world stakes here are incredibly high. Take a look at this chart. It shows just how vulnerable computer vision systems are, especially with things like object recognition and understanding context. And what relies on that? Right, autonomous vehicles. Imagine a self-driving car hallucinating, misreading a stop sign, or seeing a pedestrian where there's only a shadow. Suddenly, a hallucination isn't just weird, it's downright dangerous.
So the big question is, What do we do about it? How do we fight back against these digital ghosts? Well, the good news is it's not a hopeless situation. Researchers are hard at work, developing a whole toolkit of defenses to make AI more reliable and, ultimately, more trustworthy.
The strategy is basically a three-pronged attack. 1, we improve the inputs. That means better data and better prompts. 2, we build smarter models. And 3, and this one is so important, we keep humans in the loop.
A huge piece of building those smarter models is something called explainable AI, or XAI. You see, a lot of AI models are like a black box. Data goes in, an answer comes out, but we don't know what happened inside. The whole point of XAI is to crack that black box open to see the AI's chain of thought. If we can understand how it got to an answer, we can start to actually trust it.
And this is absolutely critical. We can't just set the machine loose and hope for the best. That's where the human-in-the-loop idea comes in. It's about combining the sheer computational power of AI with human judgment and common sense. It means having real people, experts, who can validate the AI's work, step in when it's going off track, and basically act as the ultimate quality control.
Now, this isn't just a challenge for the folks building these systems, it's for all of us. As AI gets woven into the fabric of our daily lives, we all have a role to play here as critical thinkers.
So, what does that look like for you? It means having your own critical toolkit ready. Rule 1, question everything. Always approach an AI's output with a bit of healthy skepticism. Rule 2, verify the source. If it tells you something came from a specific book or study, do a quick search. Does it actually exist? And Rule 3, fact check. Don't just take its word for it. Check its claims against other trusted sources.
And look, all of our individual critical thinking feeds into a much bigger picture. The road to responsible AI is really built on 3 core pillars that we should all expect. We need accountability, so we know who's on the hook when things go wrong. We need fairness, to make sure these tools aren't just making our own worst biases worse. And we need transparency, so we can actually peek under the hood and understand how these things work.
Which really leaves us with one final and pretty challenging thought. As these AI systems get smarter and smarter and their lies get more and more convincing, who's responsible for spotting them? It's not just on the people who build them, it's on us too. The smarter AI gets, the more critically we all need to think.